9:29, a little ahead of schedule for Ask the Lawyer this week, but I don't mind getting started early if you don't. And perhaps today's the day you get your question answered. One submitted to Bruce L. Scheiner, attorney for the injured. We definitely have a legal brain teaser today. Let's get right into it by introducing the man of the hour, Bruce L. Scheiner, attorney for the injured. Good morning, Bruce.
Hey, good morning, Todd. How are you doing this morning?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great, and it looks like starting next week, everybody's going to be able to be vaccinated. So that's a fantastic thing, and
I
encourage everybody to get vaccinated. I've spoken to a lot of friends, clients, other people, and they were hesitant about being vaccinated. You know, you got to go all in and get vaccinated as soon as you can.
Well, you can speak from first-hand experience, or first-arm experience, perhaps. You've had the shot.
I've had the shot. My wife's had the shot. My in-laws had the shot. So
no negative side effects?
I had a sore arm, but that was the extent of it.
That's no big deal. That's no big deal at all. Okay, good advice. Good advice on that front, on the medical front, from Bruce L. Scheiner, attorney for the injured. Now let's turn over to the legal front. We've got a question here, kind of a tough one anyway. We've been scratching our heads all morning. Are you ready for the question of the day?
Yes, sir.
All right, here's what it says. It says, my daughter came down to Fort Myers Beach to visit with us. She and her family were staying at a resort on the beach. There had been a storm warning, but they decided to go to the beach for a short while. After being on the beach for about an hour, a storm came up with some powerful winds. A vendor at a hotel who rented chairs and umbrellas started to break down his stand when one of the beach umbrellas got caught by the wind and flew through the air, striking my 3-year-old grandson. It hit him so hard, he was temporarily knocked unconscious. To make matters worse, he sustained a broken arm. My daughter called 911 and got an ambulance to take my grandson to the hospital. A few days later, when her husband contacted the hotel about paying the medical bills, they indicated that the vendor was responsible, not the hotel, and we don't know how to proceed. Can your lawyer friend help? Well, I can understand not knowing how to proceed in a situation like this. All you know is the hotel in which you're staying. So, Bruce, what do you make of this?
Well, unfortunately, we see all the time where property owners and business owners try to deny responsibility for injuries that occur at or on their property.
Right.
So we always recommend that whenever someone is seriously injured, that they call an experienced personal injury lawyer, because they know how to navigate the system. They know where to go and who is responsible.
Okay.
In this particular case, there were warnings of thunderstorms coming to the beach, so the vendor was on notice that everything should be secured and tied down. And, you know, it's very frequent that when we get these thunderstorms that they blow pretty hard. So, you know, the vendor is certainly on notice that things should have been secured, and when they weren't, you know, he's responsible. The other thing is that, you know, this was done on the hotel grounds, number one. Number two, the vendor was wearing clothes with the name of the hotel on it. So there's a principle of law called apparent authority. And I think the hotel and the vendor are both responsible for the injuries sustained to this poor, innocent young person.
Wow. We learn something new every time we talk to you. Is that apparent authority?
Correct.
Huh.
You know,
in all the years we've been talking, I've never heard that term before. That's really cool.
When you're at a business and you're wearing a uniform or something that has the business name on it, it has the business colors on it, you know, you assume that that's part of the business.
Right. Kind of like
they were working indirectly for the hotel, because the hotel, you know, allowed them on the property, and I'm sure the hotel is taking part of their profits in consideration for that, allowing them to operate there.
It's kind of the legal version of if it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, Bruce, you think that is something that's actionable against both parties then?
Absolutely.
All right.
As a matter of fact, over the years, we've had several very similar cases.
See, that's what I appreciate about you speaking to us on Wednesday mornings. The voice of experience, 50 years as a lawyer, and on top of it, you've handled cases like this before. That gives us confidence. Okay, Bruce, well, good thing is it doesn't sound like the little boy. I mean, who wants the child to be hurt, of course, but it doesn't sound like he was seriously injured. But definitely, somebody needs to be pursued for those medical bills. Don't you agree?
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your expertise and information, Bruce. And please tell the family and everybody to stay well.
Okay, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to give my opinion on these interesting questions.
Absolutely. We count on it, Bruce, and we'll talk to you next week.
Thank you.
Take care now. Bye-bye. Ladies and gentlemen, Bruce L. Scheiner, attorney for the injured. Let's give it up. And if you find yourself in a similar situation, somebody's been injured, you don't know what to do, you don't know where to turn, you're getting the runaround, call the Port Charlotte office of Bruce L. Scheiner and Associates. Get a free consultation. 941-743-7777. 941-743-7777. And tell them Todd Matthews sent you from Kicks Country 92.9.